Hot. Hot, 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 hot. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We are here for round 3 of the Rally X Season 2. Today we're at the Red Bull Ring in very soggy conditions, I believe. So what is Rally X? Rally X, or Rally Cross, is VRC's version of the insane in real life motorsport. As such, the races are short, sharp and full of action. Using the game's Group B class, drivers will attempt 3 races across each across dirt, tarmac and a mix of both surfaces. There is a fastest lap point is awarded to the driver with the fastest lap time throughout the entire round. No pole position points awarded. So the race day format breakdown will have a qualifying race where all the drivers participate. The grid is a reverse of the championship. The first race will be a qualifying race to determine who races in which heats. From the result, the top half will qualify for Heat 2 and the bottom half will qualify for Heat 1. In the event of an odd number of drivers, the middle driver will qualify for Heat 1. Example, 9 drivers. Top 4 in Heat 2, bottom 5 in Heat 1. Joker lap required. That means they've got to drive through the pits. Heats 1 and 2, specific drivers. Grid, qualifying results reversed. The results from Heat 1 and Heat 2 will be split in half again to determine your final race. Top halves go into the gold final, while bottom halves goes into the silver final. If Heat 1 has an odd number of drivers, then the middle driver will qualify for gold final. Example, 5 drivers, top 3 go into gold final, bottom 2 go into silver. Joker lap required. If Heat 2 has an odd number of drivers, then the middle driver will qualify for silver. You know all that. The finals. The silver final and the gold final will be the points-paying races. Joker lap is required in that. Also, is that everything? I think so. We've just got to look for a table, have we? Oh, we've got a table after round 2. That's handy, isn't it? So, we have the Binko at the top on 31 points, with Anton Poika in second on 29 points. Third, Silver Star with 26 points, who is equal third with Jokers on 26 points also. Scary Rambo is fifth. The half is 22 points, with sixth place going to Bazza on 21 points. Skyjack is seventh on 14 points. Ensign Ewer is eighth on 12 points, and Haza is ninth on 10 points. So that is everything as laid out in the Discord. Let's have a look how the qualifying grid looks. I won't remember the cars, so we'll just look at them and say that's a so-and-so car and not say who it is. Right then, it's the reverse of the championship, so it should be easy. It should be Ensign Ewer on pole. There we go. Ensign Ewer in a Subaru. And then he is followed by car 74, which must be Scary Rambo. No, that's Bazza. So, of course it's Bazza. 74 is the Baz. Then we have a Jokus, car 80 in the Mitsubishi. Then we have Silver Star in the GTR, car number 56. Then we have Anton Poika in car 54 in the Hyundai. And then championship leader Binko, car 49, the Ford Focus. So that is your grid. Let's see how they qualify for the heats. Watching Big Dan on the pole, and it's a go here. And Jokus on a lightning start there, pulls himself in between the Baz and Big Dan and tries to go for it, but Baz has got that inside line. There was a bit of contact there with Jokus, but he's made it through, and Baz leads from Big Dan. Binko in third, Jokus slips down to fourth, Silver Star in fifth, with Anton Poika in sixth place. They're all donning the very wet tyres as the Baz leads them around. There's a little bit of wibbling and wobbling as they break into the corner. Baz goes wide, Baz goes very wide. Big Dan slices it through turn 2 and now leads from the Binks, with Jokus now hotly on Binko's tail, sitting on board with the Jokas. As we have a look up the inside. This is only qualifying, remember, no points are on offer here. It's just who determines what goes in what heat. Then Anton Boyka up to 4th, Silverstar 5th, and the Baz, who went wide, is down in 6th. So can Big Dan hold the Binks off? And the cars are skating around. We're doing 5 laps here. Whoa, Big Dan in his happy place, sliding the Subaru through the Red Bull Ring. Binks on his tail though, and is not giving him a second's respite, with Jokus also in the mix. In the chat we've got Big Dan and Stewart in the chat saying good morning. Well, hello there. So Big Dan then really is under the pressure now as Binks... Big Dan's gone to do his Joker lap. Big Dan is paying the Joker as Binko comes on through with Jokers following him and Anton Boyka. Everyone. No, Silverstar also paying the Joker, and the Baz goes through. So Binks now leads the race from Jokers, and Kurtula, or Anton Boyka, sorry, not far behind. This is a tight qualifying session as the Baz plays catch-up. He's wide again. Got to brake for that corner, Baz. And Big Dan then makes his way out of the pit lane, followed by Silverstar. Interesting stuff. We've got 2 races on the go now, and it's Bink leading with Jokers and Anton Boyka, and Bazza, the non-Jokerers, and Big Dan and Silverstar, who are the Jokers. So Binks making his way around. I started trying to do math in my head. Should have been 3 laps, shouldn't it? Really, surely. So it's a lot slower than some of the other laps, than the other rounds. So, well then you couldn't pay the Joker very well then. No, ignore me. It's just because I'm thinking this is going to take ages. 5 races, 2-minute laps. 5 laps. I'm a man on the move. I've got so much to do. Still haven't done any of my own admin stuff for a bloody championship that I'm running. So Jokers is chasing with Anton Boyka. Not as comfortable on a wet Red Bull Ring as we've seen him in the past. Binks, is that into the pit lane? Yes, it is. And I think Jokers is following him through now. And Anton Boyka going into the pit lane as well, and the Baz, so they're all paying it as we see the Subaru of Bigger Danner really is in his happy place. But is it faster than what Binks has gone over the last lap? Again with the back end, it looks fine, but is it fast? And Silverstar there tiptoeing his way around the corner, and Binks is out of the pit lane. Big Dan coming up to the first corner, and Binks has done enough, has been fast enough. Whilst Big Dan slides around, Binks has planted the lap time, and he's got himself out ahead of Big Dan, and so has Jokus. So it has gone very well for Binks and Jokus there. Jokus was a real threat in qualifying, isn't he? He's really looking tentatively attacking the Binks. And Big Dan in 3rd, and Anton Boyka missing out on Big Dan's slide about. Silverstar in 5th, with the Baz coming out in 6th spot. But it's Binko that leads qualifying at the moment, securing his place in Heat 1 or 2. Jokus and also Big Dan we'll be seeing in that split. With Anton Boyka, he's got to win his split. He needs to be in the golds, scoring heat to attack at Binko in the championship. And Silverstar coming along as well nicely, and he's being caught by the Baz. The Baz seeking out a little bit of Silverstar here to give him a good points. Or is it about to be 1 in the box? So pride, really, at the moment. There's no points on offer. Makes no difference if he finishes ahead of Silverstar or where he is. In fact, it's more of an advantage. Oh, Baz nearly loses it on the wet stuff on the outside of the track. He crosses the line now to start lap 4. He's closing the gap on Silverstar. Binks, meanwhile, leads with Jokus in second. And Big Dan there in third. Doesn't look like they're within threat, them three, of losing their top band heat. Anton Poika there sitting in fourth. Start fifth, and he's pulled away a little bit now from the Baz. Binko at the moment laying down the law, showing how it's done here at the Red Bull Ring. Jokus was close, but now we've got a little battle. Looks like Jokus has had a small mistake, and Big Dan slides are starting to pay tribute. They're starting to pay off for him. He's getting some good lap times out of it. And now he's on the full-on attack and all over the back of the Polish pilot. He's having another look up the inside, but sits back and he slices the corner, slices the apex with the tip of his car, but lost a bit of time to Jokus there through that section. Now he's got to come back at Jokus. Jokus trying to move over to cut the toe. Big Dan and another 45. It's faster than his last one. 45.1, but Binko's gone fastest of all with a 44.6. And Big Dan then still fighting with Jokus. Oh, he's on the mud. He's on the mud. He's driving all over the shop to get by. Now under braking, and Jokus going in very hot, very hot. Can he make the corner? He's gone a little wide. He's gone a little wide. Big Dan stays within the lines, and Jokus just ahead of Big Dan. He needed to borrow a little bit more of the track than he should have, ought to have. And now Big Dan's got a good run down into this tight corner. Big Dan sliding around under braking. Oh, and Jokus has gone too deep. And that gives Big Dan second place. Jokus scrambling back on to get ahead of Anton Poika, who also follows the same line as Jokus. Bazza is ahead of Silverstar. We missed that, I apologise. But now the Baz... Oh, and Silverstar sees there's a fashion and follows the trend. Big Dan then... Oh no, Binko, sorry. They start with B, both of them. So the Binks bringing this one home in the final lap to secure his position in Heat 1 or 2, and Big Dan also being in the same heat. Oh, huge slide from Big Dana, just showing out up, just showing up and showing off. So Binks takes the checkered flag and puts himself in Heat 1 or 2, and there's Big Dan's going to be in the same heat, and Jokus in that same heat. Katola, or Anton Poika, gets himself in the other heat, with Silverstar back ahead of the Baz. My word, them two had a right cracker. Talking about Baz, he's in the chat saying, oh, I love rain racers, being the most sarcastic as I can. And Virtual Racers Club saying, big slide. Now, let's play with the new feature. What's going to happen? Oh, no, I turned it off because I couldn't do the photos. So, Binko got the top.
This was my happy place.
Top one.
Loved it.
Big Dan in second, Jokus in third, Katola, Anton Poika, sorry, in fourth, Silverstar fifth, and Bazza gets sixth. Ensign Newt saying this was my happy place. The car was incredible. I loved it. Fantastic. So, what's next? Heat 1, I guess. Let's have a look. Heat 1. There we go. Heat 1. And that looks like we've got Baz, Anton Poika, and Silverstar in this one. Don't look at the cheat sheet, because that's incredible. Let's get the display up. I need it for a grid walk here. There's 3 of them. So, Bazza, Silverstar, Anton Poika, away we go for 5 laps around the Red Bull Ring. And it's a wall of cars that Anton Poika's staring at the moment. He tries to fuddle his way through, and he does, all the way up into the lead of the race from the Hyundai driver, Silverstar, keeping him in check though, all the way down the straight up to turn 2. And Silverstar's going to have the... Oh, lovely from Silverstar. No, it looked brilliant at the beginning, but got a bit sloppy mid-corner and then ended disastrously. No, he's back on track though, and sitting behind Anton Poika with the Baz in 3rd place. The Baz, like he said sarcastically, doesn't like these wet races. And again, Silverstar having a look around the outside of Anton Poika, but Anton Poika way too cunning to allow that to happen, and sticks on the 1st place as Silverstar gives it his all in the GTR. But Anton Poika, the Finnish wonder, is doing an amazing job there, holding them off. And the Baz has snuck one up past the Silverstar now, and it's Baz's turn to go at Anton Poika. Oh man, the brew is just at that perfect temperature that it's drinkable. So Silverstar goes in to pay a joker lap, whilst Anton Poika and the Baz stay out to start on their 2nd lap. The Baz swinging the... what's he in? The Subaru? Swinging his Scooby all over the place, with Anton Poika slowly, steadily pulling away. And Silverstar still in the pits, making his way out now. He'll have a lovely clear track ahead of him, and he'll be hoping to smash in some lap times whilst everyone else is busy up ahead getting it all wrong. Meanwhile, Anton Poika still ahead of the Baz. The windscreen wipers furiously flapping away on the Scooby as he tries to clear that spray that Anton Poika is kicking up. And the Baz doing a fine job so far, staying with the Finnish driver. And, neither of them have paid... Ooh, I thought Baz was heading in a different direction there, but he straightened her up just in time. And he's starting to look very Daneth out there as he tries to hit that. Who was that? I think that was the rabbit. So Anton Poika just doing enough, and there goes Baz. He's going to pay the joker and see where he is with Silverstar. Silverstar has to be smashing out those apexes. He's got to be cracking those straights. He's got to be doing nothing wrong at all. He's got to get it perfect to be able to get a move on the Baz at the end of the pit lane. It's going to be tight. He's coming around the final corner now. Baz just heading up towards his pit crew as Silverstar heads on around, slams on the accelerator down the straight, and the Baz is on the move up the pit lane. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, but Baz is going to be around the corner before Silverstar, and it's Baz's position. It's Baz's position, and Silverstar has been left behind by the Baz. And now it's all about if Baz can nail this outlap and try and jump. He wasn't far behind Anton Poika when Anton Poika was doing his running around. Oh no, Baz has got it wrong in turn 2. Silverstar will be coming back at him, and Anton Poika is going to be laughing all the way to the bank as we watch Anton Poika just delicately place that Hyundai around the track here at Red Bull Ring. The car slipping and sliding, and it's like wet and wild out there. Let's get the baby oil out and have some real fun. So Baz then, although he had a small mistake, is still pretty comfortable ahead of Silver Star. He's got a bit of distance between himself and the GTR. And here comes Anton Poiker then, lap 3. He is coming in for his Joker lap. He's got the fastest lap of this race, but it's not the fastest lap of the round, because I think Binko did a 44 something. So Bazza now is chasing the ghost of Anton Poiker and trying to catch him out as he enters the pit lane. And his pit crew all waiting for him as Bazza plants it down the final corner. This could be tight. It could be tight. Anton Poiker then out and moving up the pit lane. Is it going to be tight? I'm not sure, because Bazza did make quite a big mistake, but I think the first lap out on tyres is pretty tough. Oh, Bazza overcooking it into the first corner, and Anton Poiker leaves the pit lane with room to spare. As Bazza then just trying to stay ahead of the Silver Star. He's not getting on top of the Nismo, the Nissan here in the wet, although he's going faster than he's gone. It's all about that braking here. None of them are comfortable with that braking zone. And the Subaru, you can see Anton Poiker down there. Anton Poiker, that first lap out on the outside, tougher. I thought he'd gone wide then, but no, Bazza has though. And now Silver Star's got half a chance. Silver Star, where are they? Wherefore art thou, Silver Star? Bazza has made a mistake. It is time to shine. But it's an equal distance between all three of them. One mistake could change everything here. And we've still got this lap and one other lap to go as Anton Poiker makes his way around the Baz. On the hunt, you may say. The Belgian Bullet looking for a target, and that target is finish. So Anton Poiker then absolutely nailing it here in heat 1. And executes a perfect outlap there to continue on and hopefully get a win, unless a mistake has occurred. The Baz in second starts his final lap with Silver Star in third. We'll be in the silver round for the point scoring. I don't know who goes. I think if it's the top 2. I read all those rules out and I don't remember. Probably is top 1. It's probably Anton Poiker. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. So Anton Poiker looking like he's securing his position in the gold heat. And Bazza, I'm unsure what he'll be in. Silver Star in the silver heat. Tight fighting's out there. Silver Star in the championship battle with Jokers, I believe, is he? I can't remember who's battling whom in the table. Silver Star is 26 points. He's on joint points with Jokers. So for third in the table. So Silver Star got to give up some points to the Baz. There's only 4 points, 5 points behind them in the table. If Baz can get into the top range, the gold heat. Anton Poiker then comes around, and it was just colouring in by the numbers for Anton Poiker there, ticking boxes. There's a bit of stress at the beginning of the race, but other than that, never pressured, never worried. And he takes the win. Great stuff from Anton Poiker. The Baz stay in that all-important position ahead of Silver Star. He needs the points on him in the next round, and that's Bazza in second, Silver Star in third. So looking for the next heat, where we will have the Binks, Big Dan and Jokers. And here we go. a lot of faffing around between you got all sitting. It's not a slick machine, but it's a live stream because I can't be bothered to sit there and do a load of editing, which is what I probably should do, but you get all of this, warts and all. You wouldn't have it any other way. So Joker's on pole, and here we go for Heat 2. And this is to qualify for the gold, which Anton Poiker's already in. And Joker's trying to fend off from Binko, but he goes very wide. Big Dan threads the eye through the needle and has made that work for him. Joker's back on the track before Binko arrives. And the Binks then looking to fight his way past the Mitzi. In the focus, he's off very wide there as the Binks, and Big Dan being harried by Jokers, and the Binks rejoins us back on the track, and now he's got to run on Jokers. Jokers right up the jacksie of Big Dan, and now he's being attacked by the Focus. It's going to be nip and tuck when they get to the braking zone, and Binks seems to have the Focus under control. Jokers has to submit and then try again as Binko gets a bit of a slide, and so does the Jokers coming out of the corner, and Big Dan is going to run and hide. Come on, Big Dan. He is really in the zone tonight, is Big Dan at the Red Bull Ring. He's in a Subaru. He's got his favourite sponsors with him, and he's showboating those corners. Binks then is on the chase and is a Jokers. It's very tight here in Heat 2. And Big Dan pulling out a little bit of a lead. Now, strategically, when's the best time to take the Joker lap? Big Dan's just loving it. Look at him. So when, for them, is the best time to take the Joker lap? And none have done so far. No, Jokers has. I tell a lie. So Jokers has pulled in to do the Joker as Big Dan slides his way around the Red Bull Ring. I don't even think he's in a race. I don't even think he's thinking about the race or anything. He just wants to try and get the perfect slide in each corner. So Binks then chasing him down. The Focus a little more planted than the Subaru, and can all of this slipping and sliding around by Big Dan give up? Oh, look at him. He even virtually come to a standstill so he could get the wheel spin on that one. And Binks then, although doesn't look like to be catching Big Dan, we know Binko has been the fastest man so far in this round with a 44 something in the qualifying laps. And Big Dan, he's not concerning himself with time. It's about movement for Dan. He's slided to the left. Come on. So the Big Dan is just having a glorious time out there, and the Binks chasing him down, taking this somewhat seriously. In the Ford, and Joker's already paying the Joker lap. So it's about when these two decide to come in, and we'll find out where the Joker lies. And Big Dan see the differences in the corners. Binko drives through the corner, and now Big Dan into the pit lane, and Binko will continue on. So the race is further down the field now with Jokers and Big Dan. Big Dan then driving through the pit lane as Jokers comes through the final two corners on lap 2, just about to be lap 3 of the 5. Jokers goes very wide there. It's wetter out there, not much grip, and Jokers then continues on. Where is Big Dan? He's leaving the pit lane, and he looks like he's got quite a distance on Jokers there. Binko already away, and Big Dan, is out and on his way. And watch out, Binko. Binko can't make a single mistake now. He's just done another 44.4. So Binks really is piling on the pressure on Big Dan as Big Dan pays the Joker and exits the pits on lap 3 and gives it some big welly into turn 2. My word. I don't usually like to do this, but for Dan, I'm gonna, because he's done some sensational corners. Here he goes again. All the way around. Oh, lovely, Dan. Lovely. Absolutely delicious, that lad. And then around here, he's going to... I think he's going slower because of it. Look, he's having to slow down a bit to get the wheel spin going. No, he's not. He's done a proper corner there. Sorry. Take it back. Big Dan. Giving us all the power slides. Well, they probably are, but it doesn't look like he is from the back view. That's beautiful. So he's miles ahead of Jokus after his Joker lap. And now we've got Binks into the pits. And this is the showdown. The lowdown of the showdown. Who is going to be where? I think the Bink is going to have done enough with that 44-something lap. 44.4 lap. Absolutely trouncing it out there. But Big Dan seems to have overtaken him. He's still in the pit lane. How weird. And Big Dan may have done the impossible here. He may have saw and conquered the Binks. Wow, even though the Binks has been doing some amazing lap times, Big Dan's flow must have just done enough to edge him ahead of the Binkinator. Wowzers. And Binks ahead of Jokus. This is to qualify for the golds and the silvers. And Big Dan still has a lot of work to do ahead of him. He's still got 2 laps to stay ahead of the Binks. And Big Dan then pushing on. And Binko knows what he's got to do. He's got to pull some of those super lap times out. As he sees Big Dan flipping and sliding around ahead of him. Binko looking to secure himself in the goal. He needs to be wherever Anton Boyka is, because that's where his championship is in the title fight. They're not that far ahead of people like Jokus. Oh, I thought the back end was going on the Binks then, as they come around the final corners. That must be so frustrating for the Binks, seeing that car sideways in every corner but not actually going all the way around. And he's thinking, when will gravity pay off for me? When will the laws of physics pay back? As we enter the final lap there, Big Dan leads from Binks on Jokus. So Big Dan leads this heat 2, and this is qualifying for the gold and the silver heats, and the Binks setting a chase. And Jokus then, he's not far behind as well. It's a close battle, this one. It's the final lap. Big Dan can't make a mistake. He wants to turn this into a good solid points. There's no points in these heats. It's only the final 2 heats where they get the points payout. And so Big Dan doesn't want to make this all for naught. He wants to add this up to some good points. Binks closing in on Big Dan. Big Dan at 45.5. We know Binko can go about a second faster than that. But can he get past Big Dan? Because in every corner, that car's sideways. It's not a point of overtaking front or left on the, front or left, right or left for Binks. With Big Dan, it's overtaking the front or the back of the car. But Big Dan, no even considering some overtaking manoeuvres, because Big Dan has done what he needs to do. Great race from Big Dan, great win. And Binko comes home in second, and Jokus in third. That'll be him in the silver heats, I am sure. We'll see him in just a second. La 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 la. Why have I come out of it altogether? I don't know, because I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, for God's sake, you bloody Silver finals. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Binko, Silver Star, and Joker. So Binko does lose out. Quite a bit there then. Not getting into the golds. Anton Boyka's going to score a shed load more than him in this round. Not good for Binko. Let's get on. Just don't look at the cheat sheet. And we are off here. Jokers is on the front row. He's ahead of Silver Star with the Binks in the mix there. Only coming second in Heat 2 with Jokers in third. Big Dan's the only one that got through to the golds from that heat. Interesting. So Jokers then is leading the way from Silver Star with the Bink sitting in third spot. And Silver Star is wanting to get something out of this. He's going for a move. Oh, no. Did he make contact with Jokers? I'm not sure, but Jokers did seem to go quite wide there. And this one is an easy one for the Binks. No, he hasn't got past a Silver Star, I thought. And Jokers then trying to come back up the inside. It's a brave move from Jokers. Can he slow it down enough without contact with the Binks? And he backs out of that one to give Binko the room that he deserves. And Silver Star still leads this race with Binko in hot pursuit and Jokers behind them, sat alongside the Polish driver. And it's got a lovely, is that an eagle on his helmet? Beautiful. Let's sit with the eagle as he soars in the wet here at Red Bull Ring. And oh no, we see out of our front window Silver Star going a little too sideways there and having himself a small off. And now it's down to the Binks and Jokers on board with Jokers as we set about the Ford Focus. And the Ford Focus disappears to our right. He's gone in to pay a Joker lap. So it's just Jokers out there now. Silver Star also going in to pay the Joker. So Jokers is out on his own in the lead. The Polish pilot doing a stunning job this round. And Ensign Hewitt saying, think I need a new handbrake after that race. My word, you use the handbrake. It's scary in GT7. It's a bit too forceful. It must be just a dab. You must just dab that handbrake just slightly. I like to hold it on to get the whole slide on, but then it just slides all the way around. So Binko out of the pit lane. And that is the battle. Jokers can't make a mistake now. The pressure is on. He has to do the job in hand to get a jump on the Binks. The Binks winning is the only solution for him here. And that's still only going to be fourth in the points scoring positions. He's going to lose a lot of points in this round to Big Dan and Anton Boyka, who are racing in the gold heat. And he'll be hoping he'll be rooting for Big Dan. He'll be hoping Big Dan does one on, pulls one on the Hyundai. And Bazza as well, going to be in the top three. Jokers then, meanwhile, it's looking like it's raining even harder out there. It's a tricky conditions to be driving in. And these guys are doing the best they can to keep these cars on the grey stuff. And Binko just smooth and calm. He's a smooth operator, calm behind the wheel. He strokes his cars into the corners, teases them. So Silver Star, he'll be hoping that Jokers has had a bad lap on his own out there and can get a jump on the Polish driver. And the Binks, I think, will be ahead of Jokers. Just too good. It's just too damn good. And Joker's there, his pit crew waiting for him. The Eagle soars to the nest as the Binko takes the lead, and it's all about Silver Star. He's just beginning on the pit lane. I can see Joker's coming out of the pit lane, and Binko then gets the job done. He's in the lead. Joker's is in second spot. He's not that far behind though. Not that far behind the Binko. We're on lap 3 of 5 as Silver Star sets a chase, but that Nismo's just a little bit too much car, too much beast in the Nissan. So Binks in his Focus, looking for 4th place, I suppose, is the best he's going to get, even when he wins this, if he wins this, because Jokers is still setting about the business of hunting down the Ford Focus. And, the Relentless team have worked relentlessly to get that Ford Focus prepared and ready. And by Jove, they've done a cracking job. Although Binko probably didn't want to be contending in the silver heat. That is how it has happened. And Jokers in 2nd. Jokers now looking quite desperate for what he can manage from this position. He chases it down, and Binko just becoming a blip in the distance there for Jokers as they start lap 4. So 2 whole laps still to go in this heat. And the target is just vanishing in the distance. The vanishing point. I think Silverstar looks like he's got a little closer to Jokers here. So Silverstar might be the one to watch. Look at that, a 48.5 against Jokers' 50.8. And any more shenanigans is from Jokers, and he might find himself being chased down by Silverstar. Binko then on his way, a 44.6, so we've seen him do faster in the rounds. And Jokers then, he's got to not make any mistakes, because Silverstar is picking up the pace behind him as we speak. Jokers goes deep into turn 3. A painful corner. It's deceptively slower than you think, and Silverstar survives the corner and cuts down even more time between himself and the Jokers. And Silverstar getting 2nd place here is becoming more of a reality as the race unfolds. Jokers unraveling on lap 4, and he's just got to keep that Mitsubishi nice and tight on the apex, as Binko might be a big ask, but staying ahead of the Silverstar is still a huge points grab for Jokers. And Silverstar in the Nismo Nissan. I don't know Nismo have had anything to do with that. Just Nismo sounds better than Nissan. That's their sports thing. Well, yeah, it says Nismo on the side of it, so I'm saying Nismo. Jokers then maintaining this 2nd spot, which is, we've started the final lap, and Binks is just disappearing, with Jokers surviving ahead of Silverstar. Silverstar 45.7. Where did that come from? My word, Silverstar, if you started doing that at the beginning of the round, you would have been racing in the other race. So a 49 from Jokers, 4 seconds slower than Silverstar. It's all a little too late now, but Silverstar absolutely banging some lap times in as Jokers plays survival ahead, and he's all over the shop. And the Binks then cruising now. He's in cruise mode for an easy 4th place. And Jokers trying to stay ahead. Big one from Jokers. He's learned from that corner not to try and drive through it, just slide through it. Bigger Thaneth must have taught him something. And Silverstar again smashing in some great driving in the corners, as Binko then brings it up and around into the final section of the track. A short straight, two corners, and a checkered flag to go. And Jokers then, been a tough fight for Jokers there with his Mitzi, and trying to stay ahead of a very fast Silverstar in the end. As that pace suddenly come from nowhere. And Binko does do the fastest lap of the round, I think 44.1. We've seen none faster than that. And takes the win of the silver heat, as Jokers there gets himself 2nd spot, which I think is 5th. Ahead of, he got what did he get in the end? A 45.5. They all did them cracking lap times near the end. And Silverstar with 46.8. So that was the silver heat. And let's see how those gold boys got on. Biggest Daneth, Anton Poika, and the Baz, all about to duke it out in the gold finals. Let's have a look. I'm getting good at that, ain't I? Not to pull my own chain. So Big Dan on pole, ahead of the Baz, and Anton Poika just behind him. And Big Dan slipping behind. No, not quite. Yes, slipping behind the Baz. This is going to be a brave move. Big Dan already on the handbrake straight away. And he's come back on the track where Anton Poika wanted to be. And Anton Poika moves aside to allow him a little bit of space. And the Baz, is he going to take all of the points here? That would be the scoop of the century. Big Dan, more interested in his slides than his racing. He's like, get out of my way. I've got to give it a bit of a shuffle to get it sideways. No, bless him. Big Dan's doing a super job out there. Very entertaining. And it's the Subaru versus Subaru here at the Red Bull Ring with a Hyundai joining in. What a threesome. Bazza then leads into turn 3, and Big Dan is really more about defending from Anton Poika at the moment than attacking Bazza. So on board alongside, should I say, Anton Poika, the finish fiery friend, chasing down the Belgian Bullet and Big Dan, Big D. Joker has to be a spent, remember, and it looks like Big Dan and Anton Poika early doors getting that Joker out of the way and getting on with the race and leaving Bazza on his own high and dry. 2 jumps in a week, I bet you think that's pretty clever, don't you, boy? Oh, a little wide in turn 1. That turn 1, tricky stuff in the wet. And you just don't know where the grip's going to be. Sorry, I'm stretching if you think I sound weird. Oh, my Lord. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like a Sunday morning. Sunday morning, thought, why not? If there's a song written about it, you should try and sing it. It's lovely, I tell you. Say we've just come through Storm Kieran, which missed us really. We didn't really get that big. It was a bit windy, a bit blustery, but it was all right. Hang on, how's Big Dan and Anton getting on? Don't want to be missing somewhere. But now the storm's blown out and it's absolutely glorious. We're putting washing out today. It's November and we're putting washing out. That's the rebels we are in the thingamajig house. We're going for it. We've seen a bit of blue sky. We've seen that big yellow thing, and we're saving the world by not using the dryer. We haven't used the dryer for years because it's broken. So we just hang up washing all around the house. It's like a bloody Chinese laundrette round here. So the Baz in for the Joker lap as Big Dan stays ahead of Anton Poika. And Big Dan is doing the job. Can he do this? Can Big Dan do this? Can he take all the gold, all the riches, all the glory in the Subaru? The Subaru deserves it. And so does Biggest Daneth. And the Baz are then pulling in to the pit crew just to say hello. Don't touch my car. Don't touch my car, he says. We're on our way back out. It's a tough battle. Baz are coming up there. He can see Biggest Daneth, is it? Or is that Anton Poika? That's Biggest Daneth. Oh, Anton Poika's right there to his left. But Big Baz hasn't done enough. But it's so close, so close. He's got to sit in the wake of all of that weather behind Anton Poika. Anton Poika wiggles around under braking to slow his car down, his Hyundai, down for turn 2, and whoa, the back end giving Bazza a lot to think about, and he squirrels out of the corner. A delicious sight for any racing petrol head. What are we going to call petrol heads after everything goes electric? Skag heads? No. Sketch heads? Motor heads. Hey, Lemmy, why not? Ace of spades. Ace of spades. So Big Dan then leads the way with Anton Poika in second, and the Bazza in third. Still better than the Binko though. Still scoring better than the Binks, I think, for the Baz. So look how close they all are. We're only on lap 3 of 5, and anything can happen. But Big Dan at the moment is a man in control of his machinery. He has that Subaru purring underneath him. He's got it doing what he wants it to do. Go there, do this, do that. He's got it in spades. Anton Poika, though, not far behind. He's probably sat there thinking, that car can't keep going that sideways without it actually spinning off. So Anton Poika, tentatively getting through turn 1 there. It's very sketchy in the rain, and these guys are using all of their skills and more to try and keep these cars pointing the right way. And Big Dan then, it looks 44.7 is not as fast as the Binks, so the Binks is still going to get the point for the fastest lap. And Anton Poika does look to be closing up, but he didn't go as fast as Big Dan that last time around. And here we go again. It's fantastic. So Big Dan sliding his way through turn 3. Most people are scared of turn 3, and Big Dan just he shows his bum to it. Oh, turn 3 bit the Baz then, as the other Subaru is just slicing his way through this round. No worries and no problems. 44, well, he's 44.7. He's got getting purples again, and Binko will be getting a little nervous there. The bigger Daneth will find a 43, because I don't think we've seen 43s. I think the best we've seen is 44.1 from the Binks, and that's only me trying to remember, and my memory is not one to put money on, so don't put no heed in what I say. So Big Dan then brings it around to start the final lap, and Anton Poika not managing to close the gap on himself and the Daneth. 44.6 for Daneth then, and Anton Poika with a 46.0. The Baz, we saw he had a bit of an off, and it's not gone all his way, but he's still ahead of the Binko, so that should make him smile, surely. So Big Dan, it's all down to this final lap. Can he take, will he be the only man that's not Binko to win? I'm not sure. I mean, Anton Poika, no, I think Binko's won the first 2 rounds, so it's one it's a huge celebration. He's broken the Binko's run, and Big Dan then looking like he is going to get this win if anything doesn't go wrong in between now and then, and anything could go wrong in the wet at Red Bull Ring. But so far, Big Dan pulling away from Anton Poika in the Hindi, and the Bazza is doing a fine job, but just the Subaru just not handling like he would like it. He's going to have to go to the Big Dan school of slides. And Big Dan, he's like a day at the water park for him. He's going on all the flumes and slides. So Big Dan then brings it around to the final sector of this, the gold heat. This is going to be the win overall for the whole round. A huge sideways action as he goes through the second penultimate corner, now the final corner, and nothing can go wrong for Big Dan as he cruises to victory lane, and his wife is waiting for him, open arms. Anton Poika then crosses the line in second place, and the Bazinator grabbing himself a fine podium from this round. Take a boo, my son. Cracking stuff. That was the Rally X, Rally Cross. And they were your runners. Join us again this evening if you're watching live. If not, we're going to do this all again in a bit later on, because round 4, sorry, more stretching. Round 4 will be live this evening. I don't know where though. I'm not sure. It'll be somewhere muddy, I think. It should be muddy. We've had like two dries. Well, one wet, one dry. That's what she said. Sardegna. We're going to be at Sardegna, so we're back in the mud. What more is there to say? Do all the things YouTube likes. They like you to press that like button, or dislike, I suppose. It doesn't matter either way. They want you to subscribe, and they want you to share it with your friends. Show them how good Dan is at going sideways. What else is there? Come and join us in our Discord, because no one talks anymore. No, they do. It's quite active, actually. I'm joking. I was just trying to think of a way of plying you in. FOMO. Just think of all the things you're missing that's happening in our Discord, and you're not seeing it because you're not there. Don't you want to know? Don't you want to know Bink's thoughts on... I'm trying to think of what his last post was now. On the government? I don't know. Do you not want to know what everyone thinks of 1.40? I'll tell you what I think of it right now. It's not Spec 2 by any means. It's a few more extra events. Yeah, it's all right. It's thanks, but it's not like a whole overhaul of the game and 5 new tracks with loads of new championships. It's not Spec 2. It's just a fancy update. Saying that, thanks, Kaz. It's an amazing game. I really like it. I don't know why everyone's slagging it off. It's brilliant. Irish broadcaster and your commentator... Oh, no. Dan Gleebors. And we were the Virtual Racers Club. Thank you for joining us. Peace and love. Peace and love.